case is at a point where the government has given to the courts that they will involve the IIT in finding out the stream of water that is there in the hills and how it's flowing. Based on that only they will proceed. But at the same time, there is some other developments happening. Or I mean, recently somebody told me that some of the pandas mentioned that. Perhaps the government is trying to find some other way to somehow, start the construction or some other, because for them it is like a matter of ego, I guess, that, we just have to get this done. Kaise bhi karke dikha dete hain, fir we'll get some photo ops and things like that.
Ego again. Okay.
It is there as it is. So it is like it's not solved yet, but at least for the sake of the, let's see, it was the PIL that we filed was the best thing, in my opinion. Without that, it would have been absolutely damaging to the kshetra, completely damaging.
So the only problem that I have, in my head about the Kamakhya corridor cases, if something goes wrong, who is accountable?
Nobody. I have no idea.
So there'll be no fall guy.
No fall guy at all. That's the beauty of the government, that they have no fall guy. They have the right to make mistakes, and then they completely ignore that and pretend that nothing has happened. So I don't know what this term government really is. It's a set of individuals, all of whom do not take responsibility. They just want to get something done, and then and somehow the other get the stuff done, and then pretend that. So in the very the way the whole matter has proceeded till now, from the times when the initial plans were given, at every step, if the documents, and these I'm talking about the documents that are there in the public domain, if anybody sits and reads those documents, these phases, the first impression that he or she will get is that there is this lack of transparency, this lingering sense of dishonesty.
You've been saying this for the last 1 year.
Yes. And I will tell you this, not just this. Today, you put it's easy to put things to vote, right? Take a vote across Kamakhya, remember, not just Kamakhya. Temples of the caliber of Kamakhya or Tirupati, Mahakal, they belong to all devotees across the world. They are not one single, this is not located to the geography. Remember that. You are playing with the emotions of devotees across the world. Tantra Upasakas across the world. Shakti Upasakas across the world. It is my challenge you to voting, that do you want this type of development which damages and with kind of rough shots through taking whatever things have to be done. So there are occasions when something is being told but the document shows something different. Every step there is this peculiar, how would I put it, it doesn't inspire confidence. Let me just put it this way.
Yes.
It doesn't inspire confidence in the people that the government has the right intent, the right shraddha, and the right approach to getting this done.
So the government thinks that we'll build more hotels around it, perhaps, and beautify or whatever their plan is.
That is the whole idea.
And that will increase tourism. And that will lead to employment.
Correct.
So why can't the same thing be replicated at the bottom of the foothill? Because there's so many shops. I go there quite often.
Basic question. No answer.
Okay.
Basic question. Anybody with even 1% of intelligence will ask the first question. Why do you need all the development on top of the hill?
Yes.
Do it down.
And they can have beautiful carts.
Yeah.
Green carts going up.
Whatever you do, the hill should not be damaged to the extent that the water flow is. How can you have a plan and you have the tenders passed and you have the contract given without even doing the step one, which is that recognizing that what is the flow of the water? You don't know that, but you have made all sorts of plans and you have done inaugurated things and you have clapped and you have put up newspaper articles and don't know what else is there, and then you ask that, please trust us. Is this the behavior of somebody who should be trusted?
Had you not stopped, had you not intervened, if I may say, at the right moment?
Let's clarify. It is Ma Kamakhya who intervened through the right people. It is her will, and I have absolutely zero doubt about it, because I remember when the Prashna was done, I have a copy recording of it. Not only that, it was done again. There were 2-3 times it was done different, just to verify. And all of them said the same thing, that the court case has to be done. It is the will of the deity, and whatever was told in that reading, even the smallest of things happened. It said that, there are people who are pretending to be friends, but they're actually political agents. They'll try to backstab. Everything happened. They said people are going to leave and the new set of people will have to come who will be doing this case. That is what happened. It said that lawyer is going to backturn. That is what happened. In fact, it mentioned to the extent that after some months, there's a specific ayudha of a deity that will come to me. I have the recording with me. It did come. I will not mention what it is.
Okay. If there is any obstruction to the waterfall, into the Garbhagriha of any of the Mahavidyas or Mahakamakya's Garbhagriha, what happens then?
Temple so powerful that it can have a negative repercussion on the whole land, specifically in and around the northeast areas, and also obviously on the people who facilitated such a thing to occur in the first place. That too you have to be very sure of. I mean, anybody who has covertly or overtly supported any activity which caused or likely to cause a damage to the Kamakhya Kshetra will face very severe repercussions in the coming years. And it's not a deity's judgment is not a 1 day, 2 day thing. Wait for 5 to 6 years, you'll realize on your own. Such powerful repercussions can come from a deity. So that apart, that is their karma. They will suffer for it, whoever it is. Okay. From this point of the Upasaka, if that water flow is damaged, it causes a severe disruption in the energy of that place, and it can bring about an anger of the deity, where the worst thing that can happen, by the way, is not even natural calamities or some kind of a thing. I mean, if you are a spiritual minded person, you will know that a deity's anger can cause various things in
Yes,
in a
we've
particular.
seen few
Yes.
places.
The worst thing that can happen is that the deity may leave the place and go. In that case, you lose that power or that access to that that center of energy, and the loss is entirely for the upasakas. Somebody who does, obviously somebody who can make a plan like this and try to push it through has fundamentally zero faith. It's faith is not a matter of verbal dialogues. Anybody can say anything, means nothing. It is by your actions alone that you will be judged, and that is the only way to judge whether the faith is real or faith is just for gimmicks to show people, and etc. So at the end of the day, it comes to that the greatest loss will be to the followers of the Shaktha Dharma, those who follow Tantra Upasana, and anybody who has any reverence for the goddess. Because then the worst thing that can happen is the deity may leave their place. Then slowly what will happen is that eventually the place will lose its sanctity. It may get lost in time. Anything can happen once the power that is there is removed. And this is the beauty of such places like Kamakhya, by the way. They're not temple, and all that structure comes in later. It's the natural formation that has the power. So that is why it is so unique and so rare. We have further court case dates, and we are hopeful that from the courts, the judicial system in India, we will get our pleas will be heard. And in any case, whenever there is so these are all, whatever I've talked about, are things in the public domain already. So whenever there is any kind of assessment or anything done by anybody, and it has to be put up in the public domain, so we will have the best experts in this country, people who do not have any specific allegiance to any political parties as such, go through them, review them, technically review them, and if we are not satisfied, we will file our responses in the courts. So we will fight till the end, because this is our dharma. Victory or loss is secondary. I don't even know. I can't predict the future. But to fight, yes, absolutely. You cannot take away a place like this just because you want to have a photo of tomorrow that I did something fantastic. No, not happening.
Perfect.
That's how it should be.
I think I'm speechless, and it is a wrap finally at the end of the day.
Here. Jai Ma Kamakhya, Jai Bhairava, Jai Matara.
Jai Matara, Jai Makamakhya, Jai Baba. Thank you.
Thank you.